All right. It is day 4 of the cut, down to 302. Feeling hungry, but it's like the good kind of hungry, especially after feeling bloated as shit for the last 3 months. And today is pull day.
The first thing I'm going to say here is that I am pro scientific evidence. The second thing I'm going to say is that if every single training decision you make is based off of something that you read in a paper, you're going to miss out on the big picture. Because if all you can do is recite the results of studies, you are neglecting yourself the opportunity to build critical thinking skills around what those studies actually mean. And what we need to understand is that appraising evidence is a science, but when we're dealing with individuals, when we're applying that evidence to training and to nutrition, its application is an art form.
So I forgot training shoes today, so I'm going to be guy lifting in socks. And plan for sumos is some work sets at 8. If this feels like shit, I'll leave it there. If it doesn't feel like shit, I'll do another or maybe go up a little. We'll see. Hope that was 8 reps.
And where this topic came from is after I posted the video talking about how I'm setting up my diet for this cut, I had so many comments and so many DMs asking why my protein is so high and if I can explain the science behind the nutrition decisions that I'm making.
For the guy in the comments asking why I don't just pull sumo, this is exactly it. I am so out of shape for lower body reps. Holy fuck.
And I kind of want to laugh at that because a lot of the stuff that people are wondering about, those decisions are not based in science.
And I am gonna go straight into stiff legs now because I hate myself. Low back and ass are gonna freaking explode.
And I want to be perfectly clear. I'm not making those decisions because I'm trying to skirt the system or cheat the fat loss. I'm making those decisions because I know myself and I know my history with dieting.
I am currently regretting every life decision that has led me to this point. And hopefully this is appropriate for a work set here today.
Let's talk about protein. I am well aware that where protein is in my diet is far above the current evidence-based recommendations for protein consumption for athletes, and I am very okay with that.
And dropping back down to a plate because that was freaking atrocious.
And the reason I'm okay with it is I totally understand that it's not optimal, and I know that by bumping up my protein, I'm going to be able to afford less calories from carbs and less calories from fats, and that might mean through the initial stages of my diet, I feel a little bit lower.
And with the state of the low back pump, just gonna run 3 plates on these guys and control it enough that it gets kind of hard.
But from my previous experience with dieting, I know that when I have run my protein numbers spot on with the evidence-based recommendations, I get so ravenously hungry and it becomes extremely difficult to stick to the plan. Could have I chosen a more optimal spot to put my protein? Absolutely. But by making the choice that I have, I'm putting my protein where I believe that I will have the highest likelihood of having the most adherence for the longest time. And with my diet history, I know that I'd rather trade adherence in the long term for being more optimal in the short term.
And I'm hoping this is finally at least back pump neutral.
And what I absolutely don't want to do here is come off as the dumb meathead that's like, science is for nerds, they don't know how to train, they don't know what they're doing, blah, 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 because I feel like going down that route is a very dangerous path.
I brought him back at the end of prep because I realized I needed more of them, but we're doing pullovers. And nerds will say that they are not the best lat exercise, which I would agree with. But if you guys see how tight I am in this range of motion, you can probably understand why I want to be doing them some more.
But I also don't believe that evidence is everything. And I think that if we're going to do a good job of being evidence-based, what we need to do is use the evidence to set the direction, to begin to guide us, but we need to allow ourselves some flexibility around those guidelines based on what we know about ourselves or the person in front of us.
And executive decision with how the back pump felt today, I'm just going to run some light standing abs again as a bit of a back pump antidote, and like just contracting abs hard, putting a little bit of length in the old erectors can be a decent way to make a nasty back pump a little bit less nasty.
Because no matter how well designed a study is, or no matter how all-encompassing a guideline may be, if all we're doing is looking at evidence, we're failing to account for the human element. And I think that what matters more than being optimally aligned with the evidence is how much enjoyment we're getting out of what we're doing, how much enthusiasm we're attacking it with, and how much effort are we putting in while we're doing it. Because if we have high levels on those fronts, we're going to be in it for the long haul, and we're going to get as much out of it as we can.